How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The next 7 days are going to be the 7 craziest, most insane days for crypto we've ever seen. I want to talk about that. Also, talk about the third largest holder of Bitcoin buying a lot over the last few days. Well, over the last day. And this is the first time that they bought in a very long time. They swallowed up a ton of Bitcoin. I also want to talk about some other news in the market, look at some charts. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you can see future videos just like this one. While you're down there, there's a link to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrency. This is a great time to be trading if you are someone that wants to trade, because we are in front of a very volatile situation that could give us huge gains. Now, of course, there's always some downside opportunity too, but this is the only way that you can actually make money on trading is one of the only ways that you can make money from Bitcoin's price actually going down or crypto's price going down. Check out the link underneath the video and you get some deposit bonuses. Same thing with Blowfin. Check both of those out because you should have multiple places to trade if you're going to trade, just in case one goes down because of volatility or something like that. It's also linked under to HGAaccess. 2 of the last cryptos we talked about are doing extremely well. I mean, pretty much every crypto we've talked about recently has done well, but I wanted to show you 2 here. Myro up 70% in the last 24 hours. Huge gains here. We also talked about Fink, and I talked about Fink yesterday. A smaller market cap, risky, but up significantly, over 100% since we started talking about it, and approaching that illustrious $1 million market cap. This one you can buy on PancakeSwap if you want to check it out. It is one that I bought recently as well. Of course, I'm not trying to tell you to go buy anything, but it's a meme that I think is pretty clever ahead of this big BlackRock ETF approval. So why are the next 7 days going to be so crazy? Well, there's a lot that's going to be going on. We already are seeing a lot of volatility with Bitcoin going up and back and forth between about 41,000 to 45,000 within a few hours. We have seen some volatility on altcoins as well. We know that the ETF approval is due within the next week. A lot of people thinking it might be as early as today. There's good reason to believe that as well. Now, I do want to cover some stuff that's all happening within the next week. But first of all, we did just get unemployment numbers. It's actually, unemployment's lower than we expected in the US, 3.7 versus the 3.8 expected. 216,000 jobs were added in December. So this just shows the economy's still doing well. There's still low unemployment. We do have a couple big events happening next week as well. We have CPI and we have PPI. So we expect PPI to be unchanged and CPI to come in at 0.1%. This would be extremely bullish because it would further that narrative that the Fed can start lowering rates. Now, who knows where we actually go with rates, but the expectation now is March is going to be the first rate cut. With that in mind, a lot of people are looking at crypto thinking it will do extremely well, obviously, if they start cutting rates, because some money that's in money markets and savings accounts will flood into higher risk assets being crypto. Now, BlackRock is going to apparently buy $10 million of Bitcoin today. Now, I had heard January 3. I've seen January 3 and January 5 now. So they either already bought or they are buying here today. And other people are buying as well. Now, this is the 3rd largest Bitcoin wallet. The only wallets that are bigger are Bitfinex and Binance. So I'm actually going to call it the world's largest individual holder wallet because it is. There are only institutions that have more Bitcoin. Now, we don't know exactly where this Bitcoin is being held or who owns it, but it's not labeled as a wallet for an exchange. And obviously it isn't. There aren't inflows and outflows. It's just someone stacking consistently. So this entity holds a lot of Bitcoin, and they started buying back in May of this year, bought a quarter of a Bitcoin. Then a week later, they bought 3,400, then 6,800. Now, I say bought, they really just transferred this in, but most likely they bought right ahead of this because they wouldn't hold this probably on exchanges, especially in a bear market. But they continue to transfer more and more Bitcoin in, but we hadn't heard from them since June. So they had bought all this. I mean, they bought starting at 27 and ending right at about 30,000. They bought even at 25,000. They bought 118,000 Bitcoin or transferred 118,000 Bitcoin in here within a month and a week. We hadn't heard from them. They didn't do anything. And then all of a sudden on January 4, which is yesterday, they bought another 10,000 Bitcoin. So what if they go on another buying spree of this much? I mean, this wallet alone has $5 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they're in profit by about $2 billion. So a large whale is starting to buy again, reawakening. This is like the Kraken that had been sleeping for centuries, it seems like. And then all of a sudden, it's alive again. It's awake. They haven't sold anything, really. I mean, they sold 0.05 Bitcoin, or withdrew 0.05 Bitcoin. We don't know if they actually sold it, but probably just to make sure that they could get it out of their wallet. And then, yeah, they just kept on adding. So awesome to see that. I will say, I have been watching ETH dominance. This is something that I find very interesting. Well, not even ETH dominance per se, but ETH Bitcoin. So when you look at this chart, it's not pretty. You can see we continue to get rejected by this line, this trend line, and recently we got close to it and got rejected again. Now we have formed a bottom here at about 0.05 or 0.049. We almost hit it recently and then went back up and then got rejected. I'm going to be watching this, and something that I'm going to be watching too is apparently Celsius is going to unstake $470 million worth of Ethereum ahead of repayments. They say Celsius said that it will unstake Ether holdings, which have provided valuable staking reward income to the state. They said that they are doing this. They are liberating the Ethereum to offset certain costs incurred through the restructuring process and unlock Ethereum to ensure timely distributions to creditors. So it sounds like they're going to be doing two different things. They're going to be selling some of the Ethereum just to pay some costs, and then also they're going to be sending some Ethereum out or selling it and then sending it. So there is going to be some selling pressure, it sounds like, on Ethereum. And honestly, if this is anything like the Mt. Gox Bitcoin thing that everyone always gets freaked out about, it probably won't really affect the price much long term, but it might force down Ethereum in the short term if there's a lot of fear about it, which honestly could push Ethereum back down underneath this previous support. So I'm going to be watching this. I would love to scoop up some more Ethereum, some cheap Ethereum, especially if people are coming out of the woodwork to say that it's dead. I don't think it's dead. It's got the most usage of any layer one. So I'm going to be paying attention to this and seeing what happens and how much fear there is, because there might be a nice buying in opportunity. Now, as I said, there's a lot going on over the next week. I would pay attention, make sure that you're dialed in, because we are going to get some kind of decision, whether it's today, whether it's next week. I'm not exactly sure. No one knows for sure, but it sounds like it's a done deal. And no matter what, there's going to be a ton of volatility. There is. It's either going to go, the Bitcoin market cap is either going to go up very quickly or fall down very quickly. We're not going to be seeing at 43,800 most likely next week at this time. And again, there is a lot of macro stuff coming out too. Like I said, CPI, PPI, we just got some jobs numbers. So get ready for some macro volatility as well. Now, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you want to check out HGAaccess, there's a link to it underneath the video. We've been picking out so many winners recently. Check it out. If you don't like it, let us know. We can probably help you out there. Also, there's a link to my Patreon under there as well, in case you want to know what I'm buying and selling. Also, a link to Margex. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video.